Good evening, everyone out there in Speed Gaming land. I am DarkMoonEX, joined by Danny3883 in the booth, and we are doing the Final Fantasy Randomizer play-in race to fill in the last two players for our brackets round of the tournament. We've got Dengwoo, Greggly, Luffy, and... people stop messaging me. There we go. Elastoid here on the screen. And as I said, I'm joined by the best person in the community, Danny, on the mic. Danny, how's it going over there?
Starters, that was real sweet. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
It has been a very busy week, and I've spent around 90% of it confused about what day it is. But other than that, I'm really excited to be here.
If I wasn't making the volunteer schedule for this event, I would probably be a little confused about it too, honestly. It's a blur.
I'm not gonna lie, many times that's how I've been reminded what day it is. It's going to check the schedule to see what needs taken care of and go, oh wait, it's not this day, it's that day.
Yep. So, everyone here that you're seeing on screen, and we have one more runner back behind, they are our third place runners from our pod stages. Our first and second placers are moving on to brackets, and then we had 2 slots left over. So we got our third place people running off 2 slots out of 5 players that were able to come here for this. So we're gonna see it's not bad odds, a little over 30%, 33% right there. So I think any of these guys have a good chance of being on for once. Not quite the meat grinder we're used to, Danny.
Right?
Was that Fade? Did I see Fade?
That was Fade slot 1, Red Mage learnable, with Invis 2 slot 4, Red Wizard learnable. Black Magic not as good. We've got Quad X. It's not an AoE, but you're probably still going to want to pick it up. I would, because it's real good to have.
Good for Garland. Yeah, it's good for Garland.
And
it's Garland, maybe Castos.
It's got me out of quite a few sticky situations in a Fiend fight. You just Hail Mary one of those and it lands and you're just like, woohoo, yay, save the day, so. And I also saw Pro Rings +3, so we're off to a good start.
This is actually a mighty fine seed, and I gotta say, of all the players we're looking at on screen, right now I'm favoring Luffy. 2 red mages right there, not having to worry about that black mage if they don't want it. Could have some good muscle with that thief. I kind of like that party comp for how this shook out so far.
If you just swapped out that thief for a fighter, he'd be running my party, and when I saw that Fade of level 1, slot 1, I'd have been a happy girl.
Oh yeah.
So, so having those 2 red mages, I'm sure he was really happy when he walked into that white magic shop.
So right now we're working on Garland. I don't think I've actually seen anyone actually kill Garland. They've all started moving off towards the Temple of Fiends right now. Gonna check what's in the chests. Gonna see if that canal is floating around here. Got an Aegis +2, which is either vendor trash if you don't really care about it, or could be a nice shield for later. Good toboggan to slide around town with.
If you plan on using your fighter as melee and you class change, it's a really good piece of armor to have. If you're like Luffy with that thief, it is doing you no good, and vendor it, startup cash. There you go.
Yeah, and I mean, even... Ooh, hey, best flag of the night. We got the oboe from the princess. That is our multi-instrumentalist Sarah. We got the oboe. Greggly not playing with it. Greggly is already out in my mind. I'm no longer rooting for him.
Did he not learn from Saturday's race that if he wants us to root for him, he's got to turn on the multi-instrumental flag?
You gotta play it up for the crowd. I mean, they also got the ruby, which is less interesting to me. Elastoid also not taking the loot. So far, Dengwoo, Luffy, the only one I'm actually rooting for. Dengwoo, come on. We got 2 oboes. Okay, so the ones I'm rooting for, and I'm unabashed, Dengwoo and Luffy. They're my picks.
Yep. I can't even argue with that, because they have endeared themselves to me. Oh, and I did not see this earlier, but a silver +5 also Canary. That's really, really good. And that's pretty darn cheap.
Yeah. $800 for it. It's better than a vanilla gold bracelet. It's really good protection. You can see Dengwoo slapping it on every single person he has. That, for those mages, if we don't find a gold bracelet that's actually got a bonus on it, that's our end game gear for them, honestly. That's fantastic. So yeah, in all seriousness, that Ruby is actually going to be helpful once they manage to find a canal and get out of here, because Ruby actually blocks 2 key items if they don't find the floater, 1 if they do. Sarda is hiding behind that Ruby, and then the Titan's Trove, those 4 chests right there in Titan's Tunnel, are also incentivized right there. We got an incentivized chest, so 2 items to check with that Ruby once you turn it in. Dang, the first of our runners to show us white magic at Provoca. Harm 3, the best there. Lock 2, fire. So Danny, when the best magic you have for that Black Mage is a Quad X and a Lock 2, how long is that Black Mage staying up for you?
You're asking the wrong person, because I'm really bad at running parties that have less than 4 people in them. However, if he were to die right now, I may not be that sad about it.
No. I have been known to go 3 and 2-man for certain portions of the game. I do like getting some levels on my Black Mage eventually, just so temper, lock, fast, they can cast it, and they might survive an attack from a boss in the final dungeon. But I'm not going to, with the spells that he has, I'm not going to prioritize levels on him. Dengwoo kills the pirates. Homicide in the town of Provoca. And gets the chime for his troubles. Apparently, Greggly and Elastoid have already done that, and I missed it, but now we're all caught up. You get a chime, and you get a chime. Everybody gets the chime.
Vicky giving everybody 1/2 of what they need to go clear the Sky Mirage area.
So without the shop item available, without a canoe, without the canal so far, I mean, we're going to check Matoya, we're going to check Dwarves, no one wants to go to Marsh, but I'm starting to get the vibe we're going to have to go to Marsh, Danny.
We have, as you see, Greg is going up to do the Matoya check. We have the 3 chests there. We have the 2 in Dwarf. That's 5. If it's not there, and we don't have a vendor item of some sort in Elfland that will lead us to a canoe.
Yep.
We're headed to Marsh, folks.
Yep. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. We get 5 chests here, and then we're going to try and river rat out the vendor item, if nothing else, just so we don't have to go to Marsh.
Well, 3 boxes
We've
down.
got 2 chests here. Dwarf Cave! On the 2 chests at Dwarf Cave! And that was a fast reset out of there because no one wanted those treasures.
Although, just a heads up, Dark Moon, if this seed goes really bad, they're going to be mad at you and me. Because you promised everybody today that I wasn't rolling the seed after last night, but I was the only one in the room, so guess who rolled the seed today?
Well, you should have brought in our tracker, DVS, to do that.
He was busy.
Okay, well, I was too.
He was doing comms on a race.
He was doing comms?
And everybody who... Oh, he did comms on your crowd control race.
There you go. Oh, that's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
I have to go back and watch that now. We got money. And oh, hey, the last one. Canal. Anyone hoping for a marsh dive? Keep hoping.
There you go. See?
So they're in proximity to Melmond. I actually might make the Melmond area check first and do that Ruby turn-in before I even think about Elfland. One of our admins in the community, Lord Fizzlebeef, has been doing a Time for Learn series, which is fantastic, as he's going through someone else playing the game and critiquing them. And one of the things he pointed out for all of you new players out there is when you're in this position or something similar, it's actually, with the canal, it's actually faster just to go over to Melmond, do your Melmond area checks, whatever they may be, and then you can sail around the continent to Elfland to check the docks there. Now, Dengwoo, despite having Ruby, is going off to Crescent first. I might have done the Ruby check before doing the Crescent check, but still, he's taken the advice of not going to Elfland, and I congratulate him.
Luffy had me just a wee bit concerned.
I was curious about that.
He was in Elfland, and he headed to Marsh. Wisely, he took a detour north, walked up the north, got his canal, and it's just saved himself a marsh dive.
I mean, if you do the Elflin check early, you can get some of the money or spells there, and you see Elastoids do the same thing. I'm not saying it's necessarily bad. You're going to get Brack early. You're going to get whatever's at the white shops. It's just, right now, I don't think you have the levels to cast much of this. So, okay, Exit is nice. I'm not going to debate Exit. Harm 4 even if you have a white mage. Exit on slot 3 is actually really nice, all things considered. Since that's red learnable. And we're going to check the black first before the white, or not even at all. And there's Warp as well. So, I think they're going to be rewarded in this instance because they're getting and Gear 4 on slot 2, they can't learn ever. They're going to be rewarded because they get their transport spells, and that's great. That's going to speed up some of their play. So it's a choice. It's a choice.
Yeah, that Cure 4 looked really nice there at level 4 for like 2 seconds. And it was, oh no, wait, that's white mage only.
2 whole seconds. And now I want to point out, have yet to see Fast, have yet to see Temper, have yet to see any life spells. Starting to feel like a Danny special here.
Don't say things like that this early.
So, just to point out, we also had the copper bracelet plus 5. That was actually 300 gold more than the silver bracelets by the silver. That's them cheating you out of some money right there.
Love.
It's like going to the bottle vendor and Link to the Past, paying $100 to get 5 rupees back. Like, no.
Well, we had Lit 3, Lock, and Quake at 6. Still no Fast and Temper.
No Fast Temper, no life.
Yeah, with the rod pickup here. So, the rod's actually pretty good because we have an incentive in Earth. Now we don't have to double dip Earth.
Yep.
And with the scaling we're at, honestly, I'd feel pretty okay going in there at a not super high level because I've got 2 Fade Casters and there you go.
Exit. And you even have Exit if you're like, okay, I just want to take this key item out if I've seen something bad. I can come back in here in a bit. It's not the end of the world. Lich isn't hard to kill with some levels. Maybe I double dip this area if I have to. But to Dengwoo's benefit, having not actually gone to Melmond area yet, he can go do that whole swath right now, and it's not really a big deal.
We just saw the white shirt was the incentive item in Titans. So that's really good.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
That's a nice item.
It's not what you want right now, per se, this early in the game.
Well, the thing is, I don't think we've seen Invis 2 either, or even Invis. So having a source of it out of the way right now is actually a bit of a sigh of relief. You know you don't have to go searching around for it. At a certain point, you can just abandon white magic altogether and be like, okay, at least I have this.
See, we just got the cube from Sarda.
Slab. Yep. Cube from Sarda. I'm sorry, I was Cube from Sarda, and I just saw that the slab was at the Elflin shop.
Okay, because you said slab, and I went, I know. I am not that sleep deprived.
I'm sorry, my timing was poor. You were correct. Don't worry about it. It's just, that's on me.
Dark Moon, you're making me think I'm crazier than I am. But yeah, with that cube, we can now do the Sky Mirage area all in one trip, and you're not going to want to do it right now.
Visit beautiful Sky Mall, up on the north side of the world.
And at these levels, get bounced out real quick.
Real quick. But the second that they decide they have the levels and the spells for it, I mean, it's there. They got Brack. They basically, like, aside from some levels, they can go take out that entire dungeon now. That's fantastic.
And we do have an incentivized location there, so at some point, unless it ends up being just maybe the katana, which is incentivized in these flags, and we also have 2 duds. I mean, it could be that it won't be necessary.
It's a floater. Like,
you said it, not me.
I know. I've seen the meta of this before, and while it's a possibility it's not the floater, I have seen way too many seeds in this style of flag set where you get Chime and Cube early, and the game is like, you know what? Floater isn't essential to some of the stuff you have going on. Let's put Floater over at Sky Palace.
I mean, if this was Fall League Week 3, we'd all be in Sky getting Floater, because that happened almost every race.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm still not bitter about that race at all.
So there was a tile in the Hall of Giants, I think, that is Whiz Vamp Vampire. When they're ready to grind with those fades, That is a gorgeous tile. Ooh, time-wasting shadows with fog. That's really not going to help you guys if we decide to use magic, I'm just saying. Yeah, you said Sardo was sitting on the cube. Okay, just refreshing my mind. Okay, it's the Earth Elemental tile is Vamp. If you can get good turn order with your 2 red mages, yeah, the vampires going down easy to a fade. This didn't want that on your ninja, but you'll take the experience on your red mages.
I was gonna say the vampires might have went down easy to that fade, but the thief went down easy to that whiz vamp.
I am being reminded by one of our community members, Zenobian, that Northern Docks are off. So actually, Sky Palace is not on the table.
Look, you didn't commentary curse him after all.
Yeah, I'm so happy. Flitter can't be there. Yay!
I guarantee you the fact that they won't have to go there early for that, they will be much more excited about than you seem to be.
I mean, I guess on one side it's nice if I commentate or curse him with something that can't happen. Okay, we got a question in chat asking what the +5 means on equipment. So, equipment is what we have called blursing. It's blessings and curses. We just make it shorter. So, when you have a positive on it, the item is improved. And when you have a negative on it, the item is not improved. That's basic. I say it just so it's clear, but obviously I'm sure you figured that out. The higher the number, the more the bonus is on it. I do not remember what it is for weapons, although I'm sure someone in chat will let us know. But for chest armor, it's 2 points per bonus or curse. And for all other gear, armor gear, it's 1 point per bonus or curse. So the silver bracelets +5 give you 10 extra defense and 10 extra absorb and 10 extra evade, which is very nice.
Listening to you say all that reminded me that I should have Dengwoo send me like the little typed out thing he has he drops in chat.
Yes.
Boy, that would be handy.
The weapons are what I can't remember. It's like critical and damage and hit. And I can never remember the exact numbers. I think it's 1.5 critical per level, but the others I can't remember. So, weapons just get good. Let's just put it like that. They took the internet meme and they got good.
Hey, regardless of how much you do know, it's still more than me. So there you go.
Zenobian, I think they're working it out. Okay, now we have like 3 different people telling me 3 different stats. You know what? Weapons get good. Just go with that. And the bigger the number, the better they get.
Plus is good, minus bad.
Yeah, good. They get gooder. Just go with it.
That's all I'm saying, because at least then I'm not wrong.
Okay, Spell Zap apparently is the one that has the correct numbers. +2 to damage per point, +3 to hit, +3 to crit. So, really nice.
Thank you, chat, for being smarter than we are.
We talk, they play. That's how this works. Those who can't, commentate.
And they get corrected by chat.
Exactly. But that's what we have them for.
Yep. Hey, I've said on numerous occasions, I cannot guarantee that anything I say is going to be good or informative. It's more of a guarantee that I can give you that I might occasionally be funny, and if you're not laughing with me, you might laugh at me.
So I mocked those shadows for fog too, but they also apparently have frost. I'm sorry, shadows, I didn't mean it.
That didn't sound very convincing, Dark Moon.
Hey there, vampire. Bye there, vampire.
Nice seeing you. Even better seeing you gone.
And the tint. Don't adjust your color. We've got some tint. The TNT, of course, in the vanilla game would take that over to the dwarves, and they'd open up the canal. Now, obviously, we already have the canal. We found that in a box, which weird. Pop-up canal. When you think about it, it's really dumb. Anyway.
Nera can just use a TNT to blow up something else.
Yeah, he'll blow up an item for you. It'll be fine.
It's fine.
So, that is actually a required double dip of the dwarf area because you can't get to that TNT without the canal. Yeah, that's nice. Thanks, guys. So Dengwoo and Greg have the rod. They're going to be able to continue this dungeon after they take out the vampire and get that TNT. Whereas Luffy and Elastoid not having the rod, they have to go and they're basically going to be stuck double dipping this dungeon. That's what I was saying before my brain locked up. Luffy and Elastoid have to double dip this dungeon, which is sad for them.
I mean, the fact that they have exit makes it a little less painful. But hold on. I think Luffy does have the rod. He menued real quick, but I think I might have seen it.
Okay, well, we'll trust that our tracker knows better for right now, and then when they're proven wrong, we will mock them ruthlessly.
That or it could be tracker, because sometimes in buttons is sticky.
That's true.
I track a lot sometimes, and I know. I'm just in the background just clicking it on and off, on and off, on and off until it shows up, so...
Devious is a good guy, though. It's fun to pick on him.
Hey, we blew up a thing and it turned into a key.
Hey! Was it just a giant rock and there was a key, like, embedded inside of it? The TNT opened up the rock and revealed the key? Like King Arthur's key?
I mean, possibly.
Yeah.
But
Let's go with that story.
It always is really nice when you get the key there, especially if you get it from there, because then you can just hop in the armory there and just check out what all is in Dwarf Cave Lock.
And then you have warp and exit, and you can just quickly bounce right out. That is, like, the best place to get the key right there. Like, perfectly placed.
Yeah, well, everyone else is in Earth. Like I said, Dane Greg got their TNT. Greg has got his TNT, headed to Lich. Dang checking some boxes. Luffy finding a ribbon on the first floor, one in the bottom room. Elastoid got his TNT, exited out, saved, turned it in for a key, headed to Canaria Locked, which is incentivized, and got the crystal.
I mean, it's a nice time to get the crystal. You're in the area. You can just immediately sail over to Matoya and continue your fetch quest real quick. It doesn't surprise me that Greggly and maybe even Dengwoo are going to check chests on the way down. Yes, they have a black belt in their party, but if they get better gear, they don't necessarily have to grind. So while they're in the area, check some of the chest-dense rooms and get any gear they can. Plus, you know, they might want a ribbon or two, and those are always nice.
Yeah, the thing is, like, in a flag set like this, especially if you bring a black belt, like, we don't have any loose items other than the canal. So once you find that, if you have, unless you're looking for a weapon, which if you have maybe a black belt, you may not want be, you really, unless you need money or you're looking for that ribbon, don't really even need to open boxes because you've got a black belt that can punch things, and anything you want to put on your mages other than a ribbon, you can buy in a shop somewhere.
Yeah.
And we've already seen pro rings, so...
As I've been saying throughout this tournament, and actually our fall league before it, the black belt is at his best when he runs around naked. It's funny to say, but it is actually true. You don't want to put weapons in his hands past a certain point because the weapons are less effective than his punches. And you don't want him to wear clothing because his natural stats get replaced by the stats of the clothing, and his natural stats are generally better than the clothing you could wear. So, unless you're going to keep your black belt around like level 24, which if you're going to do that, have a night, there's no reason to put clothing on your black belt. All that gear can just flow downhill to everyone else in your party.
Okay, so we tried to Brack Lich. Don't see that often, but I get it because the Black Mage ain't got a whole lot to do right now. Oh, and Lich has Thunder.
Thunder Lich. Ho! So all those times that we mock Lich and say, oh, he's gonna be easy, it's fine, it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Well, and the thing is, if you were a slightly higher level, it might not be a big deal.
But you know the funny thing? You know the very funny thing? They can get levels here. The elemental tile is Vamp Wizzvamp, and they have, like, 2 sources of Fade.
I saw Luffy did a few fights there before heading down. I am not entirely sure what his levels are, but I know he took that tile a couple of times. And it looks like that might be what Greggly's doing too.
This grind not going to go well for Greg. There it is. Come on, Fade. Do your job. Do your work. There's a level.
There we go. Good job, Fade.
Level 11 already. I'm not sure what he was, but level 11's really nice right here. Do you have exit? Did you go to Elfland yet? He didn't go to Elfland yet. Thunderclaw in chat asking, why can't I get these Fade rolls? I know, right? I cast it, I get 80s. Vampire's still standing and mocking me for it.
Elastoid in Crescent, getting his rod. Now...
Okay, Luffy did have the rod. We're good there.
Yes. And is checking a few boxes on the way, but making his way toward Lich. Dengwoo about to pull Lich.
So, the question is going to be, how often does Lich cast that skill? So the bosses all have scripts, and their scripts can be adjusted to a certain extent. But the percentages of how often they cast spells and skills and so forth is one of the things the randomizer can toy with. We are going to find out if that Thunder was just an unlucky break for Greg, or if this Lich is just going to be thunderous. And so far, Dengwoo not having the problem. Dengwoo trying to brack. Yep, Lich does not always cast Thunder. Greggly got a bad roll there. And he has Fire 2. Fire 2 would have been just fine.
Oh, he opened with Fire 2 on Greg. It was
yes,
Fire 2 and something else, and then Thunder. It was not great. It's getting there. He's totally got this. And now I feel bad. I'm watching with like one eye open in case I just said something. Okay, see? I was right. All is fine.
I want to point out, that's the power of the oboe.
You know what? I bet you're right.
Hell yeah. Power of the oboe. And now Dengwoo saves and is going back for some more tasty vampires.
Luffy getting his Fire 2 from Lich. And there you go. We've got a second Lich down. Luffy with his
very nice
lit at the 26-minute mark. And you know what Luffy has too?
The oboe. Yep. The power of the oboe. So,
Lord Fizzlebeef in chat. Wait, we had 4 levels of black magic and nothing to throw at Lich? A Quad X wants something else hitting first? Black magic's not so great this seed. I mean, we got things that are nice to have, but it's sparse.
Yeah, we got Lock 2, we got Brack, we got Quad X. That's about it. That's really all that's worthwhile there. It's really kind of sad. Someone found a ribbon, I think. I saw a ribbon in someone's inventory. I missed...
Yeah, there's a ribbon on Earth 1 in the... I think it was the bottom left room. I believe it was Luffy get it. So anybody who checks that will get it.
So, we did finally find life. It's slot 4 at level 5.
Oh, well that's helpful to no one.
That's helpful to absolutely no one on stream. And apparently, Chad is letting us know Agamas have Blizzard. The longer this goes on, the more I am favoring this vampire grind, to be perfectly honest. Fade and Fire 3, this is a lovely grind right here.
Last night taught us anything, folks. If I rolled it, take an early grind, you're gonna need the levels.
I like it. I mean, I don't know that I necessarily stay here the whole time, but you know, if they realize that you rolled this seed, which I'm sure they do, they know they're going to want some early levels, and also to watch out for spiders, because spiders in your seeds always suck. They're terrible. But when you get an early tile like that, take it. Take some levels. It's good. As we saw yesterday with the battle between Dengwoo and Gouda and Jay Coper, the levels make the difference.
It's like right now, it's at this point where we're just seeing more and more unpleasant things in the seed that I would just like to remind everybody in our community that I have nothing but love and respect for all of you. And I do not do any of this on purpose. I know not what I do. When I click the button, I put in the command, I think happy thoughts. So technically, it's the bot's fault.
Question in chat about whether or not this the seed is, and I want to quote, blurst or crest. A little of both, honestly. Like, the armor is great. The routing is fantastic. You have really laid out a very gorgeous seed here, Danny, especially with where those spells laid to help in routing. Fantastic. But the enemies suck, so I think it's a bit of both.
I didn't get a real good look at the dwarf armory earlier, but watching Dengwoo go through there, got money and like an ice minus something sort of 2 great in there that I saw.
I think he's swinging a coral or something plus. I would just keep that one and sell the ice.
Question in chat, how come no 4 face cams? That's because we ain't got room on this layout for 4 shiny, happy faces that quickly turn sad when they run into unfortunate things. But they'll be back for the brackets, so no worries.
Yeah, we could probably put them down the gutter of the middle of the layout, but they'd be tiny, and you'd have no clue whose was whose until you watched for a while. I think this is okay right now.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've been a big fan of the webcams.
Yes. Yes.
The facial expressions when they're happy, when they're not. You don't even have to really know what's going on, because a lot of times their faces just say it all.
I missed this before, but the crystal is the canoe, which opens up more of this continent and the rest of the world.
Yeah, Elastoid, when he got his canoe from Matoya, he headed down to Crescent where he got his rod. And is now hanging out on the other side of the world.
Yep.
Tiny boating around in the river system.
I gotta tell you, Danny, and this might help my election chances come admin voting this winter for the Final Fantasy Randomizer community. I'm such a big fan of the face cams, I might want to mandate that for future tournaments.
Oh, well. Good luck with that, pal. But yeah, when he did that, he did Ice Cream. We have the tail from there now doing Volcano, which is also an incentivized location. So we'll get something here. Who knows what it will be? We shall find out soon.
I have driven chat into a tizzy, and it's great.
That would absolutely 100% be something that would more than likely be very torn about who would like it. I'm going to say now that if it's a thing where we have to do face cams, there's a very good chance I'm not doing, because the last thing anybody needs to do is not only listen to me.
I mean, if we did it, we'd probably put in a rule that people could put up an icon instead of their face cam. But I know a lot of people like watching the face cams, and if you're willing to do it, it's great for audience participation.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be all for it, but I mean, listening to me yell profanities at whatever I'm playing for an hour and a half is one thing. Watching me yell profanities is a whole nother thing, and we're good without it. Greggly headed the second round 2 with Lich, went much better. Now has his Earth Orb lit at the 33-minute mark or so.
So, Yeah, so I put the crystal on the board for 3 of our 4, and I'm sure Elastoid will have one soon. He's in Volcano. I'm sure he's not going to finish this without getting one. Elastoid, though, I don't think has the grind underneath him at all. I'm not certain his levels are anywhere comparable to the other runners.
I haven't seen him purposely really take many levels. Luffy getting his tail, so like they're not super low. I think if Carrie has anything, this might be a slightly dodgy Carrie fight. But I mean, some really good fade rolls, and then a quad X that lands perfectly.
And an herb. He got an herb.
And an herb.
I mean, if he does take on Carrie and he wipes out of this, he's going to be back for that because he wants to make sure that doesn't become the floater.
Yeah.
So we got the red mages up front. They're casting Fade. Black belt behind. I saw Carrie stun one of them somehow. I didn't see if that was stun touch or stun spell.
So far, nothing too bad. Need those spades to roll.
Hold.
Yeah.
Hold.
Need
Okay.
those spades to roll a whole lot.
Sleep, too.
Yeah, because that black belt's not doing a whole lot of damage.
No.
Okay, fire 2. We're still standing, so it's not bad. Oh, well, all right. There we go.
Wow. That was the kindest Carrie I think we've seen all tournament.
I mean, she kind of was. But Elastoid lighting his first orb at the 35-minute mark. Now we get to go wake up a prince.
Wake up, sleepyhead. It's time to go to school.
Mom, I don't want to.
I mean, it's COVID times. He's staying home for it anyway, so.
Well, here's hoping.
So we got questions in chat about whether or not Ordeals is incentivized. It is indeed. But as chat points out, we're going to do everything we can before going over there because that's the only check on that side of the world we can make right now. And we really hope it's a floater so we don't have to sail down there just to sail back here from the Earth.
When you get the canoe, like, you have a bit of route divergence, and you'll see at least one person split off and head to Ordeals. Not today. Everybody just headed towards Ice and Volcano.
So red ogres are rude. The standard ogre, they have thunder as well. Ordeals it is! I mean, I think we've seen the item here in Ice Cave, although we'll double check that.
Yeah, we did. It
Tail.
was the tail.
Tail, yep. I was pretty sure about that. Double check the tracker. Tracker's great. So yeah, that means, oh, there's some more Agamas. Agamas do not want to die. So yeah, Ordeals it is. Hope you guys like Ordeals, because we're going to Ordeals.
Yep, and because you mentioned them, our tracker this evening is DVS, who is great tracker, doing awesome work, keeping us all straight back here with some bunch of nicely written out notes to make sure we know what we're talking about, which is personally, I think, quite handy and
Did he
appreciate.
save? He exited, but did he save? No, he reset. Okay. Yeah, DVS is doing the job of actually making us sound professional.
Which we appreciate.
It's an uphill battle there, DVS. We
Good
appreciate what you do.
Good thing I got good tread on my tires.
Get in the zone. Danny zone.
gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna hear that little jingle stuck in my head for a while now.
You're
next
welcome.
time, like every time I drive by an AutoZone.
I'm not sorry at all.
Oh, I didn't imagine you would be. Greg doing the Northwest Castle key lock check. Looking for different tiles. Hello. Not shabby.
Gurmadeuses are quite nice. I mean, we got Fire 3, we got Fade. Those will go down like a treat. And it's right here.
And seem just a bit safer than those Vampire Tile was, so.
Yeah, I'd want to check like experience comparisons between them just to verify like which one was really better, but and they just really wanted to wall up that fighter, so there's that.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume he plans on keeping the red mage up because he doesn't have a caster item, and that is not a fight I'd want to take with just a solo black belt.
Yeah. Yeah, I would exit here, or not. Okay. Because those Gurmadeuses were hitting for a lot. Well, okay, they were hitting the fighter for a lot, so clearly he de-equipped them. And I didn't notice. Wow, really low health on those Gurmadeuses. This Fade should kill them no matter what. So we'll probably see him go up to... I don't know that we're going to see him do the full 32, because he'd be doing that on 2 of his warriors, and that seems a bit excessive. Hasn't really found a caster item to take these out with, though, unfortunately, so... he may stop at level 24 and just call it there. We'll see. Meanwhile, Luffy is going through Fire Castle. A volcano, whatever you want to call it. Never call it the same thing twice. And he is going to get that herb and potentially carry. And the good news that he has to go to Ordeals. Good news, everyone!
That sure is what we're calling it today.
Bust out your Futurama gifts, because that's what we're doing right now.
I'd like to think everybody was okay with that.
Yeah! I don't see why not.
Thank you, Greg, for exiting out and saving. You were making me a little nervous there when you were not healing that black belt, who just kept getting repeatedly punched a lot by Gurmadeuses. Granted, they weren't doing much, but chip damage is still chip damage. Like, adds up after a while when you don't heal. So...
Czar in chat asking if this is going to be another floater in Ordeal Seed. As you can see, yes it is. And that's because it was the only place left for it to be.
It sure was.
It's great! It's just great.
Fantastic.
Yup!
And Luffy both finding that black shirt in Armory. Granted, it's not exactly the cast item you're gonna want for Gurmadeuses, but like, it would help a little bit if, like, you know, Greg had that right now.
The black shirt. We also saw the Thor hammer over at Ordeals. Thing is, if he only goes up to like 24, 26, something like that, bails with those levels so we can go do Ordeals or some other play. And then finds that Thor hammer, he could come back, finish out his grind one man on this, get like 12, 14 grand off of it per fight. That'd be a nice way to finish out the grind and just kind of do it in 2 stages. This is an easy one to get to.
Elastoid turning in his slab. Now he'll be able to, you know, head to Lufane and do his Lufane check.
Oh. Hope you guys are loving that poison effect sound.
Thank you, Dengwoo.
I know certain people in chat just absolutely are thrilled by it.
I didn't see what level Greg is, but he's exited out and saved again.
So another good grind is right here. These 4-pack of R hydrants. You got the black shirt, which they're weak to, sitting on your black belt. That is a great way to kill them. It should not kill them immediately, but it should eventually. And with how little they're punching for, the armor situation they have is perfect. He should just make sure he heals up his black belt. You see, it's not the worst grind in the world. He'll get like 8k per pop once he lets that black mage die. Yeah, don't cast Fire 3 against them. They're not weak to that.
Yeah, and they're not hitting hard at all.
No.
So,
I think... You're gonna say?
Oh, so this seems like a really safe grind for that black belt.
Yeah. I mean, long term, if he knew the Germaduces were there as well, he might take that, but, I mean, if you just want to solo your guy here, this is a pretty safe battle.
Elastoid doing his Lefane check got one of our dud locations. It was like around 3,000 some gold, but he reset out of, which I don't blame him. It got him a little closer back to where his airship was parked. Took a little bit of time.
Yeah, when I know duds are on the table, I will tend to try not to save in the middle there, so if I have to reset, I reset all the way back to that one grassing tile at the start of the block. Yep. Much faster that way.
Yeah, like, for me, it's a thing of I'll take the fights or try to run from fights on the way down, because if there are duds, I don't want to have to walk that back out unless it's one of the rare times you get a really, really good thing when you get a dud. That way you can just reset back out and not have to take that long walk.
So Greg is going to have one party member that's overleveled. Greg. Dengwoo is going to have one party member that's overleveled. Greggly is going to have 2 party members that are overleveled. And honestly, at the rate they're both getting experience, it's going to happen at about the same pace, I think.
Yeah, and Elastoid just turning in his bottle got the crown, so now he's headed to Northwest.
Would you like to have a fetch quest? If you want to sing that in the Frozen song style, we will not stop you.
You know, I heard it in my head that way.
I'm sure you did.
I will spare the people watching me singing it.
You know, as you said that, they're all going to ask for it in chat.
Well, I'm not sure it's going to do them any good.
There it is, already demanding it. Can you really deny Spell Zap, your co-op partner?
Darn it.
Okay, so...
The people would ask, that's not fair.
So Elastoid finding his grind. Probably going to stick around here for a little bit if we had any guesses about it. It might actually be the situation where, because he has a thief instead of the black belt, Luffy might be the one to start making all kinds of progress while the others are grinding. I kind of been interested by that. And Luffy has 2 crystals on the board, so he's actually making pretty solid progress.
I think the bad news is herb is now the bottle, and
yeah, Elastoid can do this grind a little faster than Greggly has, because he can let his red mages die at some point and just focus on the Germaduces with his Thor Hammer alone, if he so chooses.
Hey, we've got our second ribbon.
That's 2 ribbons. That's 2 more than the one of the matches that I know you rolled yesterday.
Hey, they found one there somewhere. I think I remember. But that is correct. We do now have 2 ribbons. We found the seed, one on Earth 1 and one here in the Elf Castle locked.
That's enough. With a black belt, that's certainly enough. So yeah, people in chat are saying, just take the red mage to 42 along with your black belt. I can't necessarily disagree with that. If you're going to keep it up, you may as well just go with it. I mean, he's already 31. We'll see if he stops at 32 or keeps going. If Greggly feels behind because of that Thunder Death at Lich, he may just take them both to 42 and just say, you know, screw it. chat sharing a clip from someone else's race of, do you want to do a fetch quest? So, hey!
Hey, well,
I'm glad you shared that.
If they sang it, there you go.
You don't have to!
I'm off the hook,
Chat
folks.
saved us. Chat saved us. Thanks, chat.
They sure did. Thank you, chat.
If it sounds like we don't have much to talk about right now, that's because we don't have much to talk about right now. Everyone's grinding and Luffy is catching up on Elastoid's fetch quests.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We're killing things on a lot of screens and we're boating around on other ones, so...
Boatmasters over here.
Dengwoo with that black belt poison, so even when it's like levels are high, it's still hunched down like they're real low, and every time I catch it out of the corner of my eye, it makes me worry.
Dengwoo, no! Yeah, our hydrants aren't like hitting for anything. Knowing that they all have poison touch, I'd be surprised if he ever actually unpoisons. Because what's the point?
Luffy, 2 ups down. The level's not super high, but boy, he's kind of booking it through some of these places. Telling you, it's the oboe.
The power of the oboe. You cannot deny the power of the oboe. Is it the oboe that has power, or does the oboe power you? I'll let chat think on that.
Yeah, we'll let chat figure that one out. Greg now headed to Ordeals, knowing... Let's see. Oop, yep, there we go. Save him before we headed in. See, we've got so far not much in the way of anything in the boxes that Luffy's checking here in Ordeals. Well, okay, he did get the Thor hammer. That ice plus, or that flame plus one will be good on that thief once he class changes. And we've got our second floater.
So Greggly did go to the 32 area for his levels. Now he's exploring his way through here and finding it really easy to explore here when you have a red mage with all the charges of warp ever. And you see, he's just going to keep 2 of them up and he'll just continue through the game with his 2-man party getting levels. Should be in the low 40s by the time he's ready to go to Topher. Dengwoo exited. Is he going to dive back in for more R hydrants or is he done? Let's find out.
He's level 1. Looks like he's done with levels, and he's gonna go get his item and take out a carry.
Level 31's good. He'll probably be 32 or so by the time he's done with carry or with the next fiend he kills. He may end up doing one more grind back on the vamps later, but for now, this is perfectly acceptable for all the stuff that he's gonna have to do in the scene.
He headed out of Ordeals, has his floater. He's about to be fly in the friendly skies.
Nice.
Greg now with his floater, shortly behind, be in the air, not long after Luffy. Chat asking what happened to Luffy. Chat, you're gonna have to be a little more specific because I'm not real sure what you mean.
If you think that Luffy's behind, he's really not. He's got 2 crystals to everyone else's 1. He's gotten just about all the turn-ins at this point. Gonna go get his floater, and he'll be in prime position to continue checking dungeons and finishing things out. Like, it's hard for me to specifically say. Floater's marked off, so I think it's just the way that his stream may have stuck, or I don't know. Like, his party is questionable, as Chaz pointing out, because he's got a thief that's going to become a ninja. But I don't feel like he's behind. He's temporarily ahead right now, at least until the Dengwoo's black belt goes and punches down Carrie.
Yeah, I think he just picked up his slab, which, he's got his slab. Unfortunately, we know is not going to be, something.
Not much of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, you can see his stream is hitching once in a while, so... I mean, the oboe has to draw power from somewhere.
Also, and with Luffy's party, the ones that do have the tail aren't exactly in a hurry to class change because they're leveling black belts. Luffy, on the other hand, with his party, as you see, in the Cardia Isles, I'm sure is checking these boxes, but will quickly be class changing.
Mm-hmm. Dengwoo has enough levels there that the scorpions, at least, are starting to run from him. And he'll get some tasty red D meat while he's on the way. Like, I have a feeling Dengwoo is going to keep all of his characters except that black belt down for as long as he can, just to funnel all the experience on.
Yeah, he's at 32 now, which is a pretty good place, I'd say. Chat questioning Greggly's decision to check boxes. I'd be willing to bet Greggly's checking boxes, because Greggly has not seen a ribbon yet.
Hey, I don't think he got the one in Earth, because I think he skipped it. And he hasn't been to Elfland yet with the key to check that treasury, if he ever does. So he's probably doing greed and go. And Armory is a good greed spot.
See, that or maybe looking for a second, because I'm not entirely sure he got the one there, so...
Luffy joins the Red Pajama Club, now has himself a ninja.
And this time of year, it's practically seasonal and celebrating. It's a festive color.
We do need a holiday hack of this game that we can play where everything's snow-covered, and you have happy, elves and Santas as your characters. That would be nice.
We've had one in the past, but it was a couple years ago, and I'm not sure it's still floating around. But I would not be opposed to having another one.
Heck yeah.
I know the last one we had, Dengwoo lugged so much he played clear into almost summer. It may have been spring and summer in our hearts, but on Dengwoo's stream, it was still December.
Chat's asking who you'd fight if it's a Santa theme. I think you'd fight Krampus, honestly, in a winter setting. Might look like Chaos, but I think you'd rename it Krampus. Greggly's on his way to getting his second orblet. Carrie died so fast on Dengwoo, we didn't even have a chance to actually comment on it. So this is putting all of them into parity, but Luffy still has the most of the checks done at this point. So when he comes in here to Sky Palace, he's slightly ahead of the rest of them, at least as far as completion is concerned. His issue is totally going to be how his levels fare, how his equipment fares, and if he loses time in that regard in comparison to the other runners.
Yeah, the best sword I've seen him find so far was the X-Cow, which he cannot use. There is a katana in this flag set that is incentivized, which he's now class changed and he will be able to use as soon as he finds. But right now, it's just finding that. But from what I've seen, he's got, pretty good gear. So I'm not 100% sure what he's checking boxes for. We'll have to ask him. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, as soon as he gets that katana, he's pretty good to go.
I mean, even if it has a negative on it, the crit rate on it is still good enough that he could live with it no matter what. Chat pointing out we have a Sun Sword -2 potentially from Ice Cave. Could work. Still would rather find that katana if you can, and there's 2 of them in this flag set. So yeah, it might just be that once he finds that katana, he stops checking stuff, because between all the armor bits we found and everything else, he should be fine. Plus, he's got a white shirt.
Greg turning in his slab. It looks like he's headed to do the turn in and get his dead item cache. Ooh.
Life was level... What life was...
Life
Sorry,
was
chat was asking.
level 5.
Level 5, slot 4, so it's not doing anyone any good. Yeah, the white magic has been very red mage poor for the most part, aside from that fade. But the black magic has also been poor. So it's like, it's just the right amount of mix that you're happy you have the red mage, but not like super happy.
Glad that Fade rolled red mage learnable at one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if Fade had not been there and all the rest of the magic had been as crappy as it is, we very well could have seen some rerolls for white mages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chat giving shout-outs to our tracker. That would be DVS doing all the work behind the scenes, making us look way more professional than we actually are.
It's hard work, because, boy...
Wow, we suck.
Are we amateurs?
And with that,
hour on Speed Gaming Live.
The Elastoid punches down Lich deader, because he's already dead. And so that's 2 crystals for everyone. Luffy is just slightly ahead of everyone else, but the freight train that is GregglyPuff with 2 characters at 32 is quickly catching up. Chat surprised that Elastoid decided to promote. We've seen Elastoid do that before. He's not too concerned about the last few levels of MDef once he gets within range of where he wants to be. Chat asking me to call the crystals orbs. I will not.
Hey, we got our katana, which, you know, Luffy has an... So...
Hey, then we're good. Let's just get out of this scene. Yeah, he's already swinging something. He's good. Let's just get out of here.
That katana rolled vanilla, so...
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
It wasn't blessed at all, but thankfully it wasn't cursed, so we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, now that he... Yeah, he has that katana. He doesn't really have the best ninja gear. He might still want 1 or 2 pieces, but, like, you know, an ice armor that doesn't roll down, for example. His trick is going to be that he really needs to, at a certain point, stop checking chests.
Yeah.
Silver armor +3, silver shield +2, flame armor +2. You're good, Luffy. Just go. Stop fighting stuff, or stop killing stuff.
Well,
checking stuff.
Yeah, say checking stuff, yeah. Fighting stuff, go for it.
Fighting stuff's good. Checking stuff back.
Yeah, he needs... I did say to at least a few more levels on that party of his, but... Gear-wise, he seems pretty good. Dengwoo getting his... The last of our on-screen runners to get his floater, but heading to go join everybody flying around in the sky. The actual sky, not the sky.
Yeah. Sky.
We've only got 2 players there, 1 on the way.
Yeah, everyone's venturing in that direction. Dengwoo has to, of course, get his floater taken care of first, and then he'll be on his way as well. Luffy's still in a fairly solid position, but Greg, as I said, hot on his heels, and we have a war mech, everybody. That is a robot chicken, and we are running from it. The cowards.
I mean, I'd be a little worried kind of those levels, and I mean, he hit hard. Look at that poor red mage.
It is dead.
Super smushed.
One hit dead. Yeah, of all the players we have, it is true. Luffy is probably in the worst position to fight Warmack.
The rest of these guys, compared with like their leveled up black belts and run, we can mock them all day. Luffy, on the other hand, I do not blame for running.
Wow, and even with the 32 black belt, you see, Greg is still not quite able to just punch this Tiamat down. It's taken him some effort. And Tiamat's like, you want to punch me? I'll punch you right back. See how it goes.
With just a slight bit of an orb lead, taking down Tia just 10 seconds or so before I think Greg did.
Luffy's still in a good position for second place right now, but Greg is going to have himself a field day. That said, Greg still has, I think, a couple extra checks that Luffy has done so far. So... Now, question, noting that he doesn't have it lit on his tracker right now. Did Greg go to Ice Cave? Does Greg have the tail?
I don't honestly recall if he did or not. Granted, even if he has it, I don't think he's going to use it.
So it's going to come down to where Greg decides to go for his last checks. Because if he ends up looking for that Oxyale and goes to Ice Cave for it, he's going to get the tail and be disappointed.
Yes, he is. And the thing is, when you haven't done ice yet, going to the Anorak area to do waterfall without the Oxyale never feels real great. It feels like bad routing if you have, like, you know, ice to check. So, I don't know.
I don't know, yeah.
It's a toss-up where he's going to go. But we shall watch it.
Crown in hand. What did the crown become? Have we seen it get turned in? We saw it get turned in. I can swear we did.
We did. But it was real fast, and there's a lot of text now when you give things to Astos, and I didn't quite catch it.
I didn't either.
That Astos is now a very chatty boy. Yeah, chat saying it may have been a dud.
Maybe.
A very good possibility, because we've got 2 of them.
It's indeed. I missed it again. Guys, I know you're trying to get through this game fast, but if you don't let us read what Astos has, I'm never going to be able to report it.
Right? Could you just hold on, we got it, hold on. 210 gold. It was our second dud.
I was about to say, can we do games done slow here, people? Come on.
See, now that feels bad. You go all the way to Lefane, you get nothing. You go all the way to Gaia, trek all the way through the town, and talk to a fairy.
You get nothing.
And get nothing. And then follow the chain, and get nothing.
The game really wants us to go quack. I mean, that just gotta go fast. That's what it is right there. Speaking of going quack, since I did mess up what I was saying there, but it's a perfect way to segue. If you're new to the game and you're interested in learning it, we are going to be starting up our Duckling Boot Camp. What is it? Next Sunday? Not this Sunday, but next Sunday, Danny?
Our Duckling Boot Camp starts on November 22nd.
Yep.
That night, every Sunday for 8 weeks, we'll be doing a reveal stream at 10 p.m. That will show the flags for that week. There will be, I'm sure, like last time, we'll have different people who will come in and talk about the flags, and they'll run a seed of the flags for that week. And then Monday morning, the next morning, we will have the Duckling Weekly Seed for that week released for everybody to run. And we will do that for 8 weeks in a row, and it will lead us into our next Duck Derby, which takes place in mid to late January.
So if you've ever thought about joining Final Fantasy Randomizer, if you have interest in the community, if you'd like to learn this game and come hang out with us, come to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. Links for the Discord and the Development Discord are there, as well as the ability to play the rando itself. So everything you need is right there at FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. We are welcoming all of our new players. Please come join us.
Yeah, come join, hop in the duck pond. If you need help, got questions, please feel free to ask. We love having new people.
So we're getting reports from chat that the Adamant became some power bonk there from it, and also have the Oxyale. I think the Adamant actually became the Oxyale. So with that should put him in go mode and set him on his way towards water, which was the one thing we were missing. Power Bonk and Waterfall. Thank you, chat.
Yeah, that bonk and waterfall is going to be a really good pick. Everybody's going to be happy to see, seeing as we don't have Temper at a decent level.
You're all going to Waterfall. You're all going to see those 6 or so chests that are right there.
Yeah.
It's very rare to see people not check them while you're there because they're just great chests.
It's one of those things, it's like, yeah, you don't need to check them by the time you're there, but they're there and they're free. Why not take, like, 5 seconds to do it?
And now we are on our way to Sea Shrine. With that Oxyale in hand, we can now open up this dungeon, go breathe underwater, and go fight Mr. Kraken, waiting underneath. I'm sorry, he did not spend 8 years at underwater medical school to be called Mr. Kraken. Dr. Kraken.
There you go.
Gotta be right about it.
Don't want to get it wrong. Then he's just gonna take it out on everybody who's playing.
He's gonna do that anyway, because you rolled this.
Hey now. Hasn't been that bad so far.
Oh.
Hey, I brought a lot of seeds this week, and only like a very small fraction of those have turned out really bad, which I think is okay.
Elastoid manages to avoid the trance that came out from these Arce hags. The good M-Death he has going on right now certainly does help, but if he gets ambushed by that pack because he has the red mages up front, or if they just get lucky and get a trance through on some of them, we could be here for a little while.
Dengwoo getting his vendor sword.
Vendor sword, best sword, sell it at wearevendors.com. Please, actually don't visit that website. I'm not sure that's a real thing or not. Don't go there.
I so want to look now.
I said it, and I'm sitting there going, wait, that could be... Don't go there. Just don't.
I cannot.
Go to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com instead. That's a real website. Moments like this where my mouth just gets away from me there, you know? Really, Danny, I don't understand why they let us do comms together, because we both have that problem.
Hey, I say it all the time. and yet, I constantly hear that I should do them anyway.
Ooh, getting 10 hits for 600 damage on that Warmech already, and a white shirt comes out. Lock to slow it down. Another lock to slow it down. Warmech not doing much of anything there. Another white shirt round. Punch dead. Experience on everyone. Greg hits 43 in Dengwoo's party. Unfortunately, meanwhile, Greg is getting that tail out of Ice Cave and probably regretting that decision.
Dengwoo giving everybody what they wanted. A Warmech fight. Greg doing what I was talking about earlier. Unfortunately, the ice check, because feels bad going to on-rack location without the Oxyale.
Yeah.
Now knowing that, and even worse is it feels bad that you have to go to Waterfall, get the Adamant, which is a turn-in, to get the Oxyale and go back.
Yeah, you forced double dip of this area. Gotta love that game. Thanks so much.
Like, I completely understand the call he made to go to ice, because he has warp. It was a quick run-in to check, and then it, fingers crossed if that's what it is, it's the quick in and out, and he would not have to double dip this area. However, chat asking.
Yeah, because you don't want to double dip.
Sorry, chat asking if we know who the 5th runner was. Yeah, DVS answering, but the 5th runner was Fry Teeth. We had the 4 on stream and Fry Teeth all vying for tonight's 2 places in bracket.
And before we can say anything about it, Elastoid already has the Master of Arms down. Kraken is dead. Elastoid has 4 crystals, and that will put him in full go mode, able to go to the Temple of Fiends. In prime position, too. He is well ahead of anyone else at this point. The power of the freight train right there. As we like to call our black belts. Choo-choo indeed. I feel like now you need a conductor hat to go along with your fire engine hat, Danny.
I mean, I actually kind of have one that looks a little bit like that.
There you go.
Well, no hat will ever replace my firefighter helmet though. I don't really wear it I haven't worn it in a while. But tiny bit TA FD at heart forever. Love that helmet. Greg getting his adamant from the robot. Gonna bounce out real quick, go get his Oxio, and then come right back.
Chat asking how the other runner, Fright Teeth, is doing. We don't know because they're not on stream, and we're not going to check so we don't accidentally spoil anything.
Yeah, once, because we do have a 15-minute delay for those who do not know. We will be announcing runners in order as they finish, starting as soon as someone on the stream here finishes. But we will announce all the winners.
I'm not going to say that's probably going to be Elastoid, even though he's in the lead right now, because the second we say, it's obviously going to be someone that finishes first, we curse them, and then they don't. I mean, look, Red. Frost Wolves with Blaze. You don't want to see that. Come on. So Elastoid is taking his second dip into the Temple of Fiends Revisited because the Frost Wolves chased him out after the first. Gonna see how this dive goes, see whether or not he's able to be the first of our runners to cross the finish line. Not sure yet, of course. Again, no spoilers. But his black belt is punching for, like, all the damage already. Gets past the Phantom Tile, plays his loot. Should have been an oboe, I'm just saying. And is quickly making his way down to the earth floor so we can start in on those Fiends Revisited.
Yeah, well, Deng got his adamant. Bounced out. Gonna go turn it in, get his Oxio, and head back. So he can finish out his on-rack adventures. Where we now have Luffy and Greg both about to go and light their fourth orb. Aw, yay! See, it's always so nice when someone says hello to the Hooray Dwarf. Although I'd be lying if I said I didn't hear Fizzle say hooray every time somebody does it.
Oh yeah, no, I do it too. Hooray! It's
no,
required.
In my head, it's the very specific way Fizzle says it that I hear in my head.
He does have a very specific tone of voice, I will not deny that.
Dengwoo about to join two of our other runners in C as Elastoid takes on Lich 2. He kicks Lich and Lich returns with Lich 3. And then he punches Lich and Lich falls over.
And yeah, I think Dengwoo does have his air orb lit, so we should get that lit up on tracker. Luffy lights their water orb, that puts them in their go mode. They do need this Temple of Fiends to be unusually cruel to Elastoid. Like, I don't know, zap through a ribbon or his high MDef on, like, the Kraken or Tiamat floor as an example. Something like that to drop him back so that Luffy has a chance to catch up. Because right now, Elastoid is in a commanding position, having punched two of the Fiends down like they were just air.
And on Luffy's side, I just saw one good thing about the party he did have, and the fact that he decided, class change for that party was Life 2 was slot 1 level 7. So he has it on those red mages now. I think it's at least one cast. Granted, not the level that you wanted at, but having, at least one cast of Life of anything, it's going to make you feel a little better about your Topher Dive. But he did pick that up after his Kraken kill.
Space Drake in chat noticing that Gary had Cure 4. Very nice to have that out of the pool for any of the later Fiends. Since all of the Fiends, the second round of Fiends, share a spell pool in the randomizer. So if you see a spell come up from one of the Fiends, the other ones can't have that, that issue of it. There's 4 nuclears, 3 nukes in the pool that get shared, a couple other spells that are duplicated. Cure 4 is one of those ones that only has 1 instance of it. So, seeing it now, that's great fun.
As you're talking, we have Greg entering the Temple of Fiends at the 119 minute. And another question we had in chat, I just want to address real quick, was someone was questioning the characters that Elastoid is running. A lot of times in our community, a lot of players run custom sprites. And they're not always super easy to tell what they are. And if you notice the way he has them named, he has them named Red Mage, Black Belt. And we have runners do that. So in case, in like a tournament setting like this, just to make sure everybody knows what they're running, as long as you name your characters after what the character is, then we're usually pretty okay with it. Oh, and Kraken 2 for Tia 2 has nuke. Hello.
Hey there.
Well, that was not a very nice way to say hi.
No.
But Tia 2's down, so it's okay though.
Yeah, but so are the red mages, and they're not coming back.
No, they are not.
Nope.
And hello, everyone from SpeedGaming 3. Thank you for the raid. You are watching Final Fantasy Randomizer and all the craziness that comes along with it. Welcome.
We're right near the end of this one, potentially, as the first of our unscreened runners, Elastoid, has made it down to Chaos. Gonna see how this goes. And it's basically a whole day and pray, because he can't do anything with that black belt except punch. That's it. Punch, punch, punch. Already done 1,300 damage. Chaos is throwing out chip damage in response. Punch. Oh, close to 2,000 damage. Punch. And Chaos dead. Elastoid is the first of our on-screen runners to finish the Temple of Fiends. Really fast time. That Temple of Fiends had nothing in there. GG's there. That puts him first on screen, but actually second overall with an official race time GG time of 1 hour, 21 minutes, 22 seconds, because right at the start, right before that, Fryteeth came in and sniped it with an official race time GG time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, 47 seconds. GG's to both of them as they are moving on to the bracket round.
Yeah, chat asking for clarification. Yes, Fryteeth did in fact come in first. Came in first by a little less than a minute. It was a very close first. Yeah, first and second place finish. But our two first and second place finishes tonight are Fryteeth and Elastoid, and they will be moving on to brackets, which brackets are starting tomorrow.
Indeed. We will have the brackets put together and announced right after this. And yeah, it's well done. Like, Fryteeth is a great runner, and I am very happy that they have made it in. I do feel bad for the other on-screen runners that aren't going to be able to make it in, but we will still watch them out and give them GGs as they cross the finish line, because they are putting in one heck of a show for us.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, everybody who was in the race tonight are great runners, and I would have liked to see all of them be able to make it. But I'm real good on Fryteeth. He is one of our newer runners. He hasn't been in the community long, and he is learning very quickly and getting good very fast. So I'm big GG to him for winning this tonight and making it.
Of course, with that, at this point, we're not going to have to worry about spoilers now, because what we see on screen is all that remains of the race. So we can see now if we can get our runners in for interviews. Meanwhile, Luffy is up against this Kraken, buffing up, gonna try and survive, getting those locks out, got a white shirt out. Kinda hoping the white shirt is still sitting on that ninja, because... Okay, good. Good, because otherwise that could have gone poorly for them. This Kraken is taking a little while and seems to be taking some, well, Krakens out of Luffy, unfortunately. Greggly, meanwhile, is steamrolled right past, found toxic worms, but manages to get away. Oh no, and Luffy has disconnected. Oof. We will check back and see whether or not what their time was and what happened, if they finished or not. We'll check with them in a minute. And we are now joined in the chat room, in the voice room, whatever you want to call it, the booth. There! We are now joined in the booth by Elastoid. GG, sir, for your second place finish.
Yep, GG.
Might be having mic difficulties. We'll see if he joins.
Okay, I was about to say either.
Yeah, I forgot I was on push to talk.
Oh,
there
okay.
you go. Hey! GG, sir.
I was looking to make sure I hadn't accidentally messed up something.
No, that was all me. No, that was incredibly stressful. Just because right after I lost my red mage's Fry Teeth finish, and I was like, well, I better win. So.
Yeah, the finish time between you two was very close.
Yeah, Fry Teeth actually, I mean, did pretty well in the qualifier, so I wasn't super surprised, but it's good to see Fry Teeth doing this well. Like, I like seeing names I don't recognize that are still beating me.
So how'd you feel about this seed?
Knew eventually I was going to get punished for choosing that party in terms of magic, and sort of was, because there was no revival magic, and I was really just operating on Fade alone. I think I'd never used Ice 3. Like, that's how but like specific it was just to Fade, so I don't know. I was feeling a little rough. I felt like I was behind the whole way. Apparently that wasn't the case, but I felt when I went into Topher, I was like, everybody else is probably already in Topher, so like I'm hoping that's something dangerous.
Just for a quick note, and then I'll pass it back to you, Danny. While we were talking, Greggly managed to get in there, punch, and knock down Chaos already. So GG's to him. Third place at 1:27:30 seconds. Danny, take it away.
That's actually what I was going to mention, but also there was life magic. It just required you to class change. Life 2 was level 7 slot 1.
Oh, so, I was never going to check level 7. There's such a low chance. I mean, yeah, you're right.
Nobody who hadn't, if you didn't plan on class changing, you weren't checking level 7 magic.
No, I planned on class changing because I wasn't going to dig chests for ribbon, and I saw that wall was level 6. So I knew I was going to try and grab the wall magic just in case.
Now
lot of
all of
good-
our runners that are left are in Chaos Fight. And it's getting down towards man mode for that ninja right there.
Yeah, Greggly's
Sweet.
not going to feel worried, but Luffy might very well be concerned here.
Like both screens casting Lock 2, and it's like lots of Lock 2s and lots of swings and hits and punches.
And there we go! Luffy has taken down Chaos with a really nice sword swing there right at the end. The power of the katana. So with that, we've got their finish in 4th place at 1 hour, 29 minutes, 38 seconds.
Wow, that was real close.
Yeah, Luffy at the 1 hour 29 minute 38 second, and Dengwoo right behind at 1 hour 29:55 second. So there was about 17 seconds on the official race time GG time. That is not easy to say.
Racetime.gg racetime.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, isn't it?
The time of the race is represented on racetime.gg.
Official racetime.gg score. That might be the best way for us to say it. We're going to see if we can get an interview in for Luffy. I know Greggly and Dengwoo have both declined at this point, so.
Yeah, we're manually sending out invites tonight. We're channeling our inner SG bot and inviting everybody in. So it might take just a second, but we're getting him in. Hopefully. I appreciate how chat is all giving us like suggestions on how to call the time.
Yeah, but they're all different. So, I mean,
Well,
you're still
yeah.
not going to come to any kind of consensus.
I mean, maybe. I might
The
pick
official-
out. I might just pick out one that I really like that's easy to say and roll with it for the next 3 days.
The
Just
official,
make it as confusing and complicated as you possibly can.
the official time of the race from racetime.gg's race time is.
But you have to, after you finish, so you'd be like, okay, in the racetime.gg race time, you finished the race with a 1:29:58 race time, GG. Like, you have to end with GG to make it even worse.
We are joined in chat by Luffy, our 4th place finisher. GG's, Luffy.
Jeez.
Hey guys, GG's, thank you.
So how did you feel about that, Luffy?
I mean, it was fun. I mean, I took a party. I was trying to have a little bit of fun with it. You know, it looked like I was the only person that didn't take a black belt, so I was a little nervous there at the end, but I still was able to make it through. It was fun to play.
What'd you like? What didn't you like? Oh, I'm sorry, Dan, you go ahead.
You were the only person on stream here that did not take a black belt. You were like our one really different like party choice.
Yeah, I tried to have a little bit of fun with the party tonight. You know, the free katana, I kind of, plan on class changing with the ninja as soon as you can get to it. And then and I've been trying to practice that thief double red black party for a couple weeks now, just trying to play around and have some fun. And fade rolling level 1 was lucky for the red mages. Overall, like I always feel like whenever I'm going, last location something, going to ordeals late and finding that adamant late after a couple dud turn-ins. But I mean, it was still overall really fun to play. GG's to the other runners. It was just it was cool just to be in the same room as them.
Yeah, I'd never take a thief as a melee, so kudos to you. You're braver than I am. However, the double red black I'm a big fan of, so I normally take that with a fighter. It's a good party. Granted, it doesn't always work out super, super well, and you get like life all the way at 7, and it's one of those things where you just start checking all the magic shops, and the more you check and the more you don't see life, the more you're like, oh, so this is what we're doing today. But I still stand by it because I like it.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I did go 1 and 2, so I mean take this with a grain of salt. But you know what I've found is even more useful than a fighter in that slot? Absolutely nothing. Just taking a nun.
Yeah.
So anything you guys would have done differently? I mean, I know last week you got second place here, but was there anything about this seed that you might have changed if you'd known ahead of time that, how it was going to lay out?
Oh yeah, I would have visited Ordeals and grabbed that floater. I mean, if I knew. In seriousness, I feel like the route that I took was pretty solid. I was still concerned when I found that floater because when you're in a big, long group race, if you last location anything, even if it's the sensible route that you took, when you last location something, it becomes a huge issue. So that was a point of fear for me. But honestly, I felt pretty proud of the route that I did, and I felt like it made a lot of sense. So how about you, Luffy?
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have taken a black belt if I had to rethink it. That seemed to be the way to go when I was watching some VODs and everything. But I don't know, I felt like being different tonight and just kind of, taking a risk and having some fun. But looking back, if I took that black belt, it probably would have made Temple of Fiends a little less sweaty, but, still able to punch through, so it wasn't so bad.
Well, you guys got anything else for us? I guess we can move on to final thoughts at this point, starting with you, Elastoid, if you want.
I do have one question, which
sure.
It's driving me crazy because you told me in chat, but I didn't figure it out because we were in chat. Is it Luffy or Luffy?
It's Luffy, like Luffy.
Okay, cool. Because that's what I thought you said, but it's confusing because it's chat. Final thoughts. Thank you to everybody who tuned in and watched this. Thank you to SpeedGaming for setting it up. Thank you to Danny and Darkmoon. They're a pretty cool commentary duo. And I think is it DVS tracking? Thank you, DVS. And if anybody's interested in running Final Fantasy Randomizer, I suggest you find something less stressful. Or visit the Discord, which I'm sure they're going to link, but
We've done it. We've mentioned FinalFantasyRandomizer.com more than once here so far. Luffy, any final thoughts?
I want to thank you guys for commentating, DVS for tracking, my runners, partners tonight. That was a lot of fun. Good luck to Fry Teeth moving on. That was a great race, and you too, Elastoid. It was a fun tournament. Thanks for letting me participate, and looking forward to the Duck Derby coming up pretty soon in a couple weeks.
Danny, any final thoughts on your side?
Maybe just a couple.
Go for it.
Like all our runners, to Frighty and Elastoid for making it into brackets. For the other runners that ran tonight, to Loopy, Dang, Greg, GG to you guys. Everybody who participated in the tournament so far. We've had a lot of really great runners and a lot of awesome races. Just thank you all to participating. To everybody who's going forward in brackets, good luck. To SG for having us this evening and just being a part of your tournament. You guys are great. Always happy to be a part of events you have, and for you guys letting us have our events on your channels. Everybody should follow all the SpeedGaming channels. They have a lot of great stuff on here. To everybody who watched, big thank you. These races are fun regardless, but they're even better when we have awesome people in chat to hang out with and talk to, and you guys were great. Everybody, like I said, we dropped the follow the runners, follow Darkmoon and DVS. The links for the website and the Discord are in the chat. We love having new people and love to have more new people. Brackets start this weekend. Everyone should check it out. We have our fall league 3rd place race, which if you want to check that out too, is this weekend. Our duck derbies and our boot camp and stuff starts on the 22nd. Good time for new people to join and learn. And just to DVS for tracking, big thank you for him. Like we've said multiple times this broadcast, he made us sound good. And to Dark Moon for doing comms with me. It's always fun.
Absolutely.
Being goofy for an hour and a half and people listening to it.
And occasionally we talk about the game.
Occasionally.
Well, with that, we're going to start wrapping things up. Then I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank our 4 runners on stream, plus Fry Keith behind the scenes. As Danny said, make sure you give them all a follow. Dengwoo, Greggly_Puff, LuffyDvitale, and which I'm sure I'm pronouncing completely wrong. LuffyDvitale. There we go. I'll just make it really bad. And Elastoid. If you're interested in the randomizer, of course, please come to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. You can check out the randomizer there, and while you're at it, join both the Discord and the development Discord. And as Danny said, we've got our new player showcase starting up soon, followed up by a tournament. We'd really like you to come and join us and have fun with the randomizer. That ends our pods part of this tournament. We are now moving on to brackets starting tomorrow. So stay tuned for all of that. And until next time, from Danny3883 and myself, DarkMoonEX, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.